Hello everyone. How do you think where I am right now? This is a Wallenstein Garden, and it's a really beautiful place in Prague. I really love this place, and I want to show you right now. So the Wallenstein Garden was built in the half of 17th century, or in the first half. So who was the Wallenstein? It was Albert Wallenstein. It was a really important person. It was a leader during the 30 Years War, and he won in a lot of battles on the Catholic side, of course. He was really popular during the 30 Years War. Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire, the Ferdinand of the Second, was jealous about his popularity, and that's why he decided to kill him. This garden is pretty famous also between France, and here is a lot of peacocks. This actually is a typical Mannerist garden, and Mannerism, it was a style on the end of the 16th century. It was really popular in Czech lands, yes, on the end of the 16th century, but originally it was a style, it came from Italy after the 1520s. So now we're passing by the labyrinth from the plants. Yes, and green labyrinth, it was a really important part of the Manneristic garden. So here we can see copies of the sculptures from Adrien de Vries. It was reconstruction, and it's of course originals. They are not here. And sculptures and labyrinths and fountains. It was a really important element for the Mannerism garden. And here we also can see the Wallenstein Palace. The palace was built in 1620s, 30s approximately. An architect was by Italian architect of Andrea Spezza, and some people they say that is actually early Baroque style, because they are not sure what is a mannerism exactly it is. What is the kind of style? Is it late Renaissance or it's early Baroque? But for me, it's just a different style between Baroque and Renaissance. So all three points of view they're possible. So this part it calls sala terrena. So sala terrena is a specific element in a Renaissance, in a also early Baroque palaces. The sala terrena is a specific element. It supposes that this area, something between the garden and between the palace, it has three walls, roof, and it also at the same time open with open space. So probably you have already understood that Wallenstein Palace, it was a really expensive object in the first half of the 7th century. During the 30 Years' War, it was almost unbelievable how the Wallenstein found some money for that a great palace. So let's go and check Sala Terrena, how it was decorated. Let's take a look. So decoration of the Sala Terrena has approximately 32 fresks with a battle topic, with battle thematic, and now you can see, for example, fresks with victory, and here is a lot of elements from the Roma antique mythology. Unfortunately, we don't know who exactly decorated Sala Terrena, but we can say that it was probably Italian artist. So today Wallenstein Palace is residence of the Senate of the Czech Republic. It has 81 senators, and that's why some parts of the palace they are not available for visitors. Probably because of this palace, some people and also empire of the Ferdinand of the II starts hate him, and because Wallenstein was really popular, he was a great leader, and he won a lot of battles, and some people, some nobility, they thought that Wallenstein would be great ruler. That's why he was killed. So unfortunately I don't see any peacocks here, but usually it's a lot of peacocks. Probably maybe it's a cold weather for them. But I will show you other birds. Let's take a look. So another important part important element for the manieristic garden is a grotta. Grotta is this one. Grotta is actually artificial cave, and this element represents earth. Also, grotta was really important for the manieristic and the Renaissance gardens, when nobility or other visitors able to hit it inside, because it was a really sunny weather, hot weather. It also represents that a human being can't manage the nature. So, for example, grotta is an element between also between the nature and human activity. And it's a cave, but it's an artificial cave, and it supposes that it has some decorative elements, but it was built exactly for the parties, for the festivals, when visitors or Wallenstein parties had the necessity to hide from other guests, other people. And this is a grotta. It was a private space for the kisses and the romantic dates. So, manieristic garden, as all manieristic style, was really linked with alchemy and with manieristic point of view. It was linked with alchemy and the mystery of creation, everything around. And manieristic human, he tried to understand how nature was created, by who and how, and he tried to create something similar. That's why we have a lot of artificial elements here, but it also connect with the nature. For example, the artificial cave was a grotta, or fontaines, yes, with water. Also labyrinths from the plants. At the same time, it was really sculptures. And also, really important part for the manieristic gardens were animals. Yes, for example, is something as a private zoo, but some domestic animals or some really specific animals, because we should remember that it was a party space. It was a party space for the nobility, and of course, in the early Baroque time and late Renaissance, it was really popular during the fests. During the fest, present your animal collection. Wallenstein Palace, it was a really expensive object, also with the sculptures from Adrien de Bries. But these sculptures was stolen by Swedish army in 1648, and now some originals, there are actually some pieces there in Kulturhistorische Museum of Wien, and a lot of things there in Stockholm. So, Swedish queen, the Christina, she was a great collector, and she knew about the collector of the Rudolf II. And exists some opinion that Swedish army in 1648 exactly knew about some pieces what they need to bring to Stockholm to the Queen of the Christina. She made an order for exactly for the exclusive pieces from the collector of the Rudolf II, and also Swedish army brought her these sculptures. Swedish army plundered Malåstrana and the palace, and also the collector of the Rudolf II, but they were stopped on the Charles Bridge and they didn't get to Old Town because they didn't get through the Old Town Bridge Tower because the Old Town army, they just follow the bars on the Old Town Bridge Tower. They just locked the door, and the Swedish army was stopped.